I have a question about whether or not there's any plans in Atlantis for some kind of outrageously funny episode, much like there was, I think, the 200th episode of StarGate.
Probably, what is that?
Maybe when we get to 100?
Yeah, it'll be the end of season 5. How does that sound to you guys? Good? Yeah.
Wait, did I just agree to season 5? You've got it all on tape, right? I guess not.
Don't be shy.
Everyone's thinking of names for your baby. Mars has a question.
Rachel, I had a question. Are you formally trained in the martial arts, or?
No, I'm not. I just learned what I have done for the show on the show, based on working with various different martial artists and stunt performers here in Vancouver, and working with our stunt coordinator, James Bamford. And I use my dance background essentially to learn the fight sequences, and I look at them as if they are dances, and they are. I mean, it's pieces of choreography, and we learn them in sections, and for somebody who came from a dance background, it's pretty easy for me to just incorporate them. I've had to get rid of a little ballet and add a little bit more oomph.
A little bit more tap.
A little more tap.
A
A little more jazz hands. Yeah.
And just a follow up, I love your voice also. I was wondering, do you have any plans for a musical career at some point, or is?
Yeah, I want to be a rock star. Actually, it's funny because Jason has started learning the guitar, and Joe now has on set. He's got his guitar with him all the time, and he wants to be a rock star. So the two of us are talking about, starting a band.
I should point out, actually, one of the fans asked about, your singing voice, but also David's lovely singing voice and rapping skills. And I pointed out that I remember there was a karaoke CD circulating sometime last year, because David used to host these karaoke nights. And I saw it, I don't know, one day, and then it just kind of disappeared. And I think it would be an excellent season 4 special
The
feature
StarGate
if you could sort of
karaoke,
track it
yeah.
down. Yeah.
That would kill us for sure. that would single-handedly sink Atlantis.
Yeah.
David and Rachel, are there any aspects of your character that you feel like you'd like to grow more, or that you haven't been able to kind of address as your character, and that's someplace you'd like to...
The ego? A little more ego, I think.
Obviously, she's going to be pregnant, so that's a new thing for your character to deal with.
Right. No, this season is actually very exciting for me in terms of character arc. I mean, obviously there's another layer that's being added to who she is as a woman. Well, yes, there it is. Shut up, David. No, but it just seems to organically be unfolding that way in terms of discovering who she is, and so I don't feel like I'm necessarily hungering to look into a certain aspect of who she is. I've always been very excited about portraying a woman who is strong and powerful and intelligent, and yet doesn't lose any of her femininity in that. And this season is just another kind of unfolding of who she is, and broadening of that aspect of her.
It's actually been very cool this year, because there's been a lot more sort of interaction between characters that wouldn't normally have happened before. McKay's had scenes with Ronan that he wouldn't have had before, and there's just been a lot. I think because of the changes, it's allowed us to sort of explore the interaction with the characters. Now that the characters have been established, we can sort of break them down more. So already this season, there's been a lot of sort of interesting conversations that I don't think would have happened before without these sort of changes. I mean, the weird thing that happens with the show is that the longer you do it, the more it sort of takes on a life of itself, and so the changes can be quite traumatic, but it sort of mimics life. I mean, the sort of things that happen that you don't necessarily love, but they're part of the sort of the organic, life of the show. So are you coughing at me?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the organic, wasn't it? It's because I used organic.
That was my word.
Yeah. And now Rachel's going to sing. And dance. Take it away.
We just came from the Eureka set and saw their amazing new 2-story set. And now that Atlantis is the only StarGate program on the air, what can we expect in terms of new sets for you guys?
3 stories.
Third level, that's it, yeah. And maybe an elevator.
A new gymnasium.
Well, we got the Wraith. The Wraith Hive has certainly grown since we've started.
We built a new Wraith hive and or sort of lab set. We haven't really done that much.
Well, we've got
new
the
construction
Travelers
this year.
set, which is actually very cool. We introduced this new race. Just coming into the fourth season, one of the things that we found that Atlantis kind of lacked that SG-1 had was technologically advanced races, because unlike in the Milky Way galaxy, in the Pegasus galaxy, as soon as the civilization attained a certain level of technological development, the Wraith would come in and wipe them out. So we created this race that we called, I think, the Travelers. And essentially what they do is they're nomads, and they travel in ships, and they go from planet to planet and just scavenge civilizations that have been raised by the Wraith. And we created a specific look for their ship, which is I don't know. It looked like it was assembled together, or from various parts of different other ships, and it has a very rustic, very cool look. A lot like I guess the Nostromo than the Enterprise sort of clean lines, and that'll be in, I think, episode 5 or 6 or 7.
And
somewhere around there.
As McKay says,
Yeah.
it's the hot alien as well. We got the
that
hot
was a
leather
nice
alien.
addition,
I think is the
Rachel, just curious. I'm not sure how far along you are in the season. So, with your pregnancy, will it affect the end of the season? Do you guys have plans if you had to keep her out of some episodes for a little bit?
My doula will be on set with me all the time, just in case.
They'll reinforce the third level too. From a
Well, I don't know. We're just kind of.
Well, when we found out that Rachel was pregnant, we had to sort of, you get out the calendar, and you go, okay, you're due, when are you due? And then you start going backwards, and you figure how many episodes you can that you won't be available for at the end of the season, and we just kind of guessed, she'll probably be able to work up to somewhere around here. And it was hard for Rachel and for everybody, particularly at the beginning of the season, because we shot way out of order this year. Just a lot of it had to do with Amanda's availability because of the movies and various set issues and things like that. We had a lot of room on the post end, so we juggled our schedule quite a bit. But she had a continuity that, that there was no denying. Like she was going in a straight direction, even though the show was jumping backwards and forwards. So it was difficult. There was a lot of shooting around, a lot of wardrobe and things like that to try and make it seamless from when the episodes air in their air order as opposed to their shoot order. But I think we've sort of gotten over that now. We're at a point in the shooting fourth season where the show has caught up to her. Her pregnancy is now on screen, and we don't really have to worry about it that much. Now we just have to worry about how long she can keep working until she's like, my feet hurt too much, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm already there. So yeah.
You've talked about how some of the mythology of SG-1 spills over into Atlantis. How much, if anything, is going to spill over into the new series, Stargate Universe?
That's a good question
There's
for Brad
Wright,
who is standing right there. Details regarding the third series, second spin-off, are top secret right now, unfortunately. So
or non-existent, depending on
Isn't it Stargate McKay? Wasn't it?
I could tell you, but Brad will cut me. He has cut me in the past, so.